Welcome to the Goalpost, the podcast where it's all about long-term player development. We're here to talk soccer through a different lens, one that puts the players before the scoreboard and progress before pressure. This is all youth soccer with a purpose. All development, all the time. I'm your host, Jason Glover. Welcome back to the Goalpost, the podcast by Steamer's Crew, where we don't just train the players, we try to grow them. Today, we're going to be probably stepping on a few toes, maybe even stomp on a few business models. But if we're serious about development, we've got to talk about something honest. Private training. Is it helping or just choreographing? If you scroll down through Instagram right now, you'll see a kid dribbling through cones, shifty, really great laterally, looking amazing. You'll see the coach telling the player to scan, check their shoulders. A ball will be whipped into a mannequin that is upper 90. All of this looks amazing. The camera angle looks cinematic. The tempo is electric. But here's the problem. It's all fake. It's choreography. Rehearsed, controlled, predictable, and unfortunately mostly irrelevant in the chaos of an actual game. Let's just be clear, though. This doesn't just come from a bad place, like an angry trainer that couldn't get enough players to come out. This is just parents want their kids to get better. Some coaches want to help. But these methods of individualized training sessions, these methods are stuck in the past. Private training has become a theater of intensity, but the stage is empty. Let's take a look at some research. There's a pivotal study in 2010. Performance in isolated, unopposed drills does not reliably transfer to the real game. Why? Because the real game has variables. It has teammates. It has defenders. It has pressure, time, space, noise. And the cones that you're using in these private trainings, they don't fight back. They don't take the ball away. They don't provide any feedback. And when a player is being told to scan and check their shoulders in this isolated environment, these scans are happening in a vacuum. They're not scanning. They're just looking. There's no decision attached, no consequence. That's not the game. That is not the game insight. That's muscle memory masquerading as intelligence. But it looks good on film. The motor learning model most of us were taught is outdated. It prioritized repetition over perception, technique over decision making, execution over understanding. But this modern research shows that you don't learn the game from the outside. You learn it from the inside of the chaos that the game provides. Oof, we're pretty far off. If you think about private training, one-on-one with the coach, how in the world does that mimic the game? So you're paying money for something that doesn't mimic what you're training for. Here's where this all gets uncomfortable. The private training economy doesn't reward learning. It rewards optics. It rewards what you perceive and doesn't actually reinforce development. Sharp touches, parents love them. Fast feet, put it on a reel. Disciplined obedience, give that coach a bonus. When you walk out onto a field and everything looks organized and all of the players are playing sharp, that is the opposite of what you should be looking for. Learning is messy. Learning doesn't look choreographed. Learning is chaos. But when you do it this way, it doesn't always look good in a 60-second reel. Sometimes it looks like failure, it looks like confusion. Parents are saying, gosh, I don't know. I'm not really sure what they're doing. It looks chaotic. But let's look at it like this. Can we recalibrate the parents and maybe shift the dynamic of what is perceived and maybe just twist the dial a little bit and say, if you're looking for private training, do it in a group. Don't just do it one-on-one. The problem is private training has a problem. It's incentivized to look clean, controlled, and confident. So coaches build drills for cameras, not for transfer of information from the activity to the player. So, are you building a soccer player as a parent, or are you building a performer? And what's the better path? I mean, if you're looking at it from a representative learning of environments, which means real decisions, real pressure, real teammates, real unpredictability, and you want a better player, then you need to put them in environments where there's small-sided game chaos. There's a neutral player that overloads with the offense and the defense is underloaded. Directional rondos with purpose, constraints that guide learning. Don't coach how to scan. Make the game force the players to scan. Design a game that makes scanning necessary, because the game is the teacher and the role of the coach isn't to bark out commands. It's to shape the environment so that players discover what matters most. So let's end this with understanding that private training isn't terrible. There are great coaches out there doing great work, but the best ones know that soccer is learned from the inside, in motion, in chaos, with feeling. So you don't learn to drive by spinning the wheel, the steering wheel of the car in a parking lot. You learn by merging into traffic, by making choices, by feeling the flow of the traffic. So if we're willing to do it on everything else, shift your thought process to sports and understand that you actually have to be a part of the environment to make yourself better. So when you're doing a private session, is your child really learning in that private session? Or are they just rehearsing a script that they likely will never perform? So let's stop selling the intensity and start delivering insight. This is the Goalpost. All development, all the time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm really glad you joined us today on the Goalpost. Raising and supporting young players isn't always easy, but choosing to focus on their growth, their joy, and their character, now that's the right thing to do. You might not see the results right away, but every small moment you invest makes a big difference in your child's life. And remember, all development, all the time. That's not just a motto, it's a promise. We'll be here next time cheering with you.